And he will run out of steam when we get here anyway. So that's good. In fact, that's very good. Right. Now, if you don't use that bonfire, you can just homeward bone back to the bonfire in Sens, which is kind of nice.
Well, hello again. You seem to be doing all right. Need anything forged?
So, I'm thinking... pick a katana, any katana. I really should have bought a bottomless box. Can I buy one of those from this man? No, I can only get one from the first merchant. Well, that's irritating. Let's do all the reinforcement first, and we'll buy useless boxes later. Yeah, so... Uchigatana! So we're going to need 4 more Titanite at a minimum. You can drop things you don't want, you just can't actually sell them. So I could dump some of this stuff. Plus 5, then I'm going to modify it to plus 6 with a large. And then we're back to reinforcing. Plus 7, plus 8. If I clicked OK, that would help better. Plus 9, and we can just get to plus 10. Just. Cool. So that plus 10, and that really didn't cost anything. Now, if we could buy large Titanite from here, we could do more weapons. We can't, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So while we're here, I'm going to pick these up because they're handy. I'm going to buy an absolute metric ton of arrows because it's handy. You can never have too many arrows. That'll just save messing around later. It's just, yeah, it's good. I'm very tempted to make a run for a bottomless box as well.
Get yourself killed.
It does mean going back to an early part of the Berg, of course. But we could then homeward bone our way back to Sens. So, pretty tempting. Just want to check relative damages. So, longsword plus 8, 144. Uchigatana plus 10, 180. Big enough difference for me. And one in the offhand. Yeah, I'm liking that. Now we could... See, I don't think I've got enough. I think I'm gonna go... Yeah... I'm just thinking. When I've moved on a bit, I can, as I mentioned, use a boss soul to get a rather nice flaming weapon. So if I am going to do that, I'm not going to use fire upgrades. If I had the relevant Titanite, which I think is green. How are we on green? 1. Yeah, if I had rather more, I think it's either green or red. Whatever the hell it is, it's fire enchants, really, one of those colours. So, yeah, you can get quite early on to the chap in the catacombs who does fire enchants. And that would be tempting in that sort of case. Thank you. Notice how I ignore your paltry attempt to kill me. And we'll just run him through. Because we can. Now what is going to be the absolute fastest way to where I'm going? I think it's going to be back to Firelink. This would have been far more efficient if I'd done this at a sensible stage. It's nearly tempting to get some fire magic going as well. But I think I'm going to avoid that. It feels a bit cheap. I mean, I'm already going a little bit cheap as the game goes on. Just in the name of making this semi-watchable. And I want to be this way. Anyone coming? Not so much. I really kind of like wandering through low-level areas with a decent weapon, because it is just pleasing to realise how much you've advanced. In terms of your killing power. I think there should be far more games where you actually get to... Because a lot of games, you get harder, and then the mobs get harder, and you get harder, and the mobs get harder, and you're always facing a challenge, which is, of course, a good thing. But sometimes, it would just be really nice to actually just be able to enjoy the fact that you're pretty hard. Because it's just kind of pleasing, you know, to enjoy the fruits of your large amount of effort. Bad kick. Yes, that wasn't too far really, as runs go. I've never actually shown that off because actually I've almost forgotten you could do it. You can do a kind of leaping attack, which I bet I can't pull off now. No, I absolutely cannot pull it off. Oh, I'm using a right attack, that's probably why. So that's the sort of sprinting attack. I honestly, my brain is completely dying at this point. You may have noticed I'm kind of slowing down as we progress.
Oh, where have you been? I guessed you'd hop the twig for certain. Bah, shows what I know.
I haven't hopped the twig. I assume he means died, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. Bottomless box. Lovely. And I just like throwing knives, so yes please.
Thank you kindly.
So tempted to kill him, but I really don't need another katana, and I might want to come back. You never know. Right. Let's get back to Zen's Fortress, and then general mopping up. So there isn't much else to do at Zen's now. The only thing I haven't done is shown you the area that I mentioned whereby you can. My brain is so dead. If you're a magic user, this area is kind of useful. I might just try and get there. I mean, just for laughs. Just for laughs. And so he's suicided. That's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. Actually, is it quicker to go through this from the start to this area, or is it quicker to go back? It's quicker to go back, but is it easier to go back? Valid question. If we die, I might just call it at this point, I think. But that's fine. You know, we've got no problem there. A little weapon upgrade goes a long way. Yeah, so we kind of have aggroed that guy. Now he's showing me why I shouldn't underestimate him and why shields are good. Brute force. Brute force and lack of technique. But I can't say that I'm deeply worried about that right now. Doesn't massively concern me at this point. Okay, this is where I want to be. So, I think we've already cleared this. I don't know if that wall is still going to be down, or not. I honestly don't know if it will. It doesn't look down. It looks more kind of up to me. So wherever the handle is here, you're safe. Because it's definitely not going that way. I just can't be bothered to wait for that to kill that serpent. Much as giant boulders have a nasty effect on you, they're not so lethal against the population. So he's temporarily decided to take the long route, which he can do. I mean, he can make his way around here. I think we'll deal with him when he gets back. So if you're a magic user, you really do need to rescue Logan here.
You seem quite lucid. A rare thing in these times. I am Logan.
You are indeed. But I don't give much of a hoot about Logan. I might rescue him just in case I want to show you the rest of his little line, because it is a bit painful.
I have moaned and empty-handed, but I could repay you with knowledge and sorcery. This place is melting my mind.
I can understand that. You are stuck in a cage after all. So let's let him out. Because we're just nice like that.
Oh, heaven! And I'd love to resume my travels, but I must log a few things first, and I owe you a favor. I will return to Farling Shrine. Speak with me there, so that I may impart my sorcery.
So another thing you really need to do if you're a magic user is when you're in the lower ended berg, the lower undead berg, where the dogs and the thieves are, where I went past, excuse me, and I picked up that twin humanity from the torch wielding guys. Between the thieves and the torch wielding guys, there's a door, and if you buy the key from the merchant to the sort of undead berg, then you can let out a trainer who will teach you more spells. Don't know if we can sneak up on this guy. We can try. Didn't get my backstab off quick enough. Something to watch on these ledges is if you are locked onto the target, back is obviously away from them. So that's his usual follow-up. So yeah, if back is away from the target and you're angled towards him, it's very easy to jump back off a ledge. You can jump back. I never use it, but you can. And now we just got to get back up to where we were. Now things are probably going to reset for us. I could actually homeward bone back up. There isn't a lot of point. There is something else that's worth showing here. But it does depend where the boulders are. So I'm probably going to set this machinery off by doing this. Sprinting up here. Grab this chest. Very nice armor ring. Just very good against straight damage. Waiting for the boulder. Now, there are some other things we want to get here, really, if we can. So, it's not quite there. Is it jumping off further up? I think it is. So you kind of want to land kind of here. And you can get a free shotel if you like the shotel. There's a little kind of daggery style weapon. Now this is looking like everyone's dead, which I like. And the NPC who we didn't talk to outside the front here, we can pick up here and continue his quest line. So we don't actually need to have talked to him outside Sen's Fortress, we can just pick him up here.
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegmeyer of Katarina. Quite honestly, I've run flat up against a wall, or a ball to be precise. I must say, I'm a bit too tough to be outrunning those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
Weighing his options indeed.
Perhaps I could try some rolling. Bah, no fun. My head would spin.
I don't know if that's a hint that you can roll through the balls.
Perhaps I could try some rolling. Bah, no fun. My head would spin.
So that is the look of the Katarina armor. It is not for everyone, but it's very good armor. And he does have a whole quest line. You'll trip over him at various points in the game once you've spoken to him. And I keep meaning to finish it. Maybe I will this time. Never seem to get around to it. Making with the sprinting. Well, okay, that was just a light jog, in fairness. Now making with the sprinting. See, we're not particularly heavy armoured. I didn't really need to strip down for this. First time through here, I was in pretty heavy gear, so was kind of necessary. Now, if you come in here the first time, and this is probably the situation now, the same thing, there's actually normally a mob behind here. If you want to attract him, just hit the wall a few times, and he'll come right out. I don't think he's here. Nope, I think he's jumped off earlier. I don't think this is a very good idea, you know. But just another way you can get up here. Kind of depends how many points you've got in various stats, really. So, for utter completeness, oh yeah, so that's the way we came up. That wasn't what I wanted to show. So what am I thinking? I know what I'm thinking. What you can do is check that boulder isn't suddenly coming this way for any reason. I'm fairly convinced it's not. This is where I just came from, isn't it? Yeah. It's not what I was looking for. What am I looking for? I think it's that one. So I think there's one more thing we haven't done, and I think it is down here. Yeah. So this is the path that actually leads, where you follow the ball down around a corner. So if we kept on going, we'd get back to where we just came from. But if we jump off here, I don't think he's dead. Not deeply worried about that. You can jump out here. It's not what I was trying to get to. The hell was I trying to get to? Ah, yes. I was trying to get to this. So, starting here for sorcerers. In case he wanted it for any reason, that's where it is. And that's the one-way door. So, only other thing that we can really show, I think, is now if you can actually jump down here. It's maybe easier to show it from the other direction. This leads to a little platform which overlooks the, I don't know if you can see it, but it actually overlooks, you can't see it at all, the bottom hallway with the first set of blades. There is a mob on a raised platform and a bunch of other guys below them who can shoot stuff at you. So it's kind of another way to get down to the start. I think there is an item down here, if I remember. Let's go grab it if there is. So the mob who's here has actually waltzed off, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so Slumbering Dragon Crest, I forget what that does, to be honest. I know it's useful. I think that's Silent Footsteps, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. so you don't make any sound, is good for sneaking up on people. Generally, once you've got them, you kind of want 2 rings equipped. One thing I don't really want normally is a ring of sacrifice, but because I'm wandering around with so many souls, I kind of figured I would. And that's about all we need to do here, so I think we're going to homeward bone at this point. If you haven't got to the cages, or you don't want to risk the cage route of going back, I would recommend the cage route, frankly, and that little sort of trick. Or if you actually want to go and kill the Titanite demons, and you can go and it'd be quite nice to pick up that item, for example. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick up that item, and if I get attacked, I will die, and the ring will save me. But hopefully I won't, and I can just homeward bone from below. We shall see. Okay. So, pick up the scythe. Yeah, so kind of wasteful, but it was worth a go. And ring revival, so that's exactly what happens. So, I broke my ring, but on the plus side, we're fine. If you're doing something stupid and you don't intend to do it a lot, that's kind of good. So, let's be done with Sen's Fortress now, shall we? I think we should be done with it. I think we've seen everything really that's to see around here. That's fairly complete. Obviously didn't pick up the couple of items at the very bottom. There are a couple of minor things scattered around those Titanite demons, and you can kill the Titanite demons. And if you want Demon Titanite, which later on I may do, we might just be back for those. You can kill Stone Dropping Guy, if you want to, and you can drop down that way to the sort of bull control room, if that's what you want to call it. But there's not really much point. I've had enough of this, really. It's fine. But as you can see on it, you can do this in an evening, pretty much, even if you don't know what the hell you're doing. And let's face it, I don't. Is he going to drop me... No, he's not going to drop me nice loot this time. Well, he has been very obliging so far, so I can't really begrudge him that. So, let's finish with a cutscene and go to Anor Londo. I do love this place. It's a real change of scene, it's a real change of pace, and after fighting your way through the fortress, it's just a really nice place to be in. But we're not going to do anything here. We're going to call it there. This has been a long-ass video, so I do apologise for that. It's also been a bit slow in places. I'm kind of slowing down, but next time we shall resume on a fresh evening when I make fractionally more sense, and it's going to be interesting getting through some of this without a shield. It really is. So it should be fun. But until then, I will see you next time. So keep well and cheerio. Bye bye.